Well, generally what happens is we have it so it's open all the way and it's ready for the first gust to go.
But you can see now, Donica, that the circle with the teeth is now over there.
You see how it moved when they moved the top of the windmill?
Because now it's facing a different way.
You doing a tour?
No, they've done the tour.
Oh, okay.
They hung around, they joined. They've been here a few years, been waiting 5 years to see this thing in work. Right, Donica? You've been waiting 5 years to see this.
Right? We've never
I'm only 5.
Right, but you used to love to come and see Windmill.
Windmill was your favorite part.
Yeah.
So they've had a tour and they waited outside and we're ready to let it go here.
So I will.
You'll be here.
Well, but I'll give it a push and then head back up. And maybe you want if Olivia you want to observe Harry on the stones.
Well, I think she can observe me. I'd like her to observe you pushing.
Outside.
Right.
Okay.
And show her how to get out of the way.
That's an important step.
Show her to get out of the way and just give it a push. And
Cottage Hospital's not far away, so.
Olivia, do you need a haircut? We could get it. We could.
Do you think they're going to give her a haircut with Windmill? Do you think they would do that, or do you think he's being
The
silly?
windmill clip, right?
Oh. Do you think he's being silly? No, we're going to wait up here because we're going to watch. But I think
Look out the window.
we can peek out the window as long as we don't hang out the window. And you'll be able to see they're going to start moving that.
Like this close?
I guess they give it a little push to get it started.
What's the rain?
Well, they have to lift the stones apart, so you'll probably hear the stones moving. And then they're going to push it.
I wonder if I'll be able to see him.
You should from the ground. Can you see the grass?
You'll see her.
They want to teach. I think they're teaching her how to do the mill.
Yeah. So you see them now?
You see, he's going to explain to her what he's going to do.
Get the stones apart.
Stones are
Gotta
falling
keep
apart.
doing it that way.
Well, you've always got a sweep coming back behind you, so. Just observe. You got stones apart? Yeah. Good. I'm going to give it a push. Here we go. There you go.
It's moving.
How is it going?
Here. So see?
And I'll follow you up.
Well, but that's all right.
It's not.
Yep.
Actually, you should go ahead and.
Well, this is where it's going.
It hasn't got it yet.
See the corn is starting to flow a little bit in here.
So that's turning the stone.
See the stone turning?
good, huh? Makes a lot of noise. Philadelphia doesn't make this kind of noise, does it? All right.
Now they're starting close and pouring in, it looks like.
It's very cool because you can see the veins going by each window.
You can also feel it. You can feel
Yeah.
the gusts as it shadows the windows.
Over here. Well, let's see how much corn we got made over here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my, that's beautiful, isn't it? And that's, when this thing comes around, the running stone, it drags the corn and throws it right over there. So we're gonna close this up for a while. Just gotta make sure she's happy, she's fed. And when you don't get fed, and when you're hungry, or you get kind of ornery, you're not happy, right? Yeah, you're right. It stopped. Maybe it got fed too much. Let me go ahead and give it a push. I can do that.
I think I'll come back up.
I think he will.
I'm going to watch over at the window.
Now, this window doesn't have a vein that goes by. Those two windows have veins that go by.
It's halftime.
No, because remember he turned it. It had been out that window. So you can go over to the window where we were watching as long as you stay clear of the stairs. And did you see the gears all going round and round up in the top? That's what makes the stones turn. It's not as loud as I thought it would be.
And it's starting to rain.
Kind of silly, isn't it? Is it silly? Okay. I guess I gotta go push. Is that we gotta push on? We're gonna.
Either that or we have to go outside and blow on it, right?
There you go, or you have to blow. I push and you blow. Okay? Can we do that? You just kind of like go out the window and go. And while I'm pushing, will that be a good?
Try it. See if it works.
See if you have the magic touch.
Sounds great.
It pushes.
The vein might be a little far away. Stop.
It stopped. We have to blow harder. It's trying to go.
The wind might not be right.
Is this the type of thing that it takes a little while to get it moving, or?
Well, some of it is the wood burnishes a bit, so make sure everything is wearing nicely before you really start putting under it.
Still pushing. Right, but you want the wind blowing directly onto it.
If your little blower that my pushing is not making this guy go, we can do the cornmeal march. Get out of march. We gotta go twice around here. We gotta do, and it goes something like this. Cornmeal, cornmeal, cornmeal march. Can I follow you or you wanna follow me?
I want to follow you.
Okay, you ready? Here we go. Cornmeal march. I don't hear it.
You can be loud.
Remember, it's a mill. It gets louder.
So once around. Here we go. Cornmeal, cornmeal march.
Say it louder.
Okay, we're gonna stop right over here. Let's see what we've ground here, Donica. Ooh, let me see. Oh my gosh. We did good, huh? Good, good. Do you know what corn sounds like when it goes downstairs? It is, this corn says, down the hatch. Can you say down the hatch?
Down the hatch.
Oh, that's beautiful. So we say down the hatch. You want to say that again?
Down the hatch.
Down, you say down the hatch, and you throw it down. Okay, you want to try that? Okay, here we go. We're gonna right-handed, left-handed,
Right-handed.
and we're gonna keep away from your blouse, honey. Go,
Oh, that's
go.
okay.
Close, close. Okay. Now, what are we gonna say? Okay, down the hatch. Say down the hatch.
Good.
All right. You want to do it again? Here we go. Okay. What are we gonna say? Okay, say down the hatch. You throw it.
Down the hatch.
Hey, that's beautiful. You want to do that again? And maybe we have to do the cornmeal march. Cornmeal march, they sometimes make cornmeal, but otherwise, we can just simulate. We got some good cornmeal here. And what are we going to say now? Okay, hey, keep good. Say it real good.
Down the hatch.
Okay? We're going to say your cornmeal down in the sifter downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting down, you want to see your cornmeal down there too? Sift it out. Okay, you could keep doing this.
Down the hatch.
How old is he?
How old are you?
5.
You're 5? Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Now, are you going into kindergarten or first grade?
First grade.
Oh, same age as my granddaughter. All right.
On top of that is the shaft, so the shaft goes up like that to the
How
shaft.
about if we send some of this down to the man downstairs? But you still gotta say the same thing.
Nathan Wilson. That's what Nathan Wilson. Okay, that's as far as we go. I'm just gonna leave it open.
Down the hatch.
Woo, that's beautiful.
That made a different noise, didn't it?
Then I'm on the back.
So, corn does make a different noise when it's either cornmeal or it's the actual big beans. So, all right. We think we're gonna have to cornmeal march this guy around and make a little bit more or what? Or we just gotta wait for the wind to blow? What do you think?
What do you want to do?
What do you think? What do you wanna do?
So you're playing in here a little bit.
Want to do the cornmeal march, or do you want to wait for the wind?
Cornmeal march.
Okay. My graduate and postgraduate happened to be an educational psychologist
Ah.
and a headmaster of a girls' high school and a prof. Okay, I'll tell you what. Here we go. Now, this time you gotta lead me and I'll follow you. Okay? Okay, here we go. And how's that go? Cornmeal march. Is that right? Okay, I'll follow you, honey. Here we go. Come on.
Cornmeal.
Oh boy, this is beautiful. We gotta go one more time around, honey. Here we go. Ooh, this is beautiful. Gee, this is, it's great. Wait. You gotta come over here and see stop. We're gonna stop over here. Let's see how much we made. Oh my gosh. You don't want to show mommy and daddy to you. Come here, look at this. Look at this. Oh my. Ooh. Okay, now what are we gonna do? We're gonna say down the hatch again. Can we do that? Okay. So let's race this. Now you gotta practice. What are we gonna say?
Down the hatch.
Down the hatch, that's right, that's exactly right. We'll put this in your hand like that. Maybe just a little bit too much for your little hands. Okay, now, what are you gonna say?
Down the hatch.
Okay, but you're gonna say with a lot of big voice. Down the hatch. Can you say that? Can you say that now?
Down the hatch.
There you go.
Beautiful. Let me give you just a little bit more. And let me give you some of this. Okay, now what are you gonna say?
Down the hatch.
But you gotta say it with a big voice. Wait, how's it gonna sound?
Down the hatch.
Oh, right down the hatch, that's good. There we go.
Down the hatch.
Ooh, down the hatch. The only thing that seems to be working today is the cornmeal march. We keep making cornmeal, but the wind's not good. The wind's failing. Are you a pilot, sir? Yes, you are. Okay. The machine this guy flies, it was a gentleman who recently deceased here, John Gilbert. John said to me, on a private commercial pilot, and John said to me, he said, Tom, this is really interesting. He said, well, he said, I can't explain it. But he's been here for a long time. He said, I can't explain this guy, but he says, when the winds are from the west, say 240, 270, and they're blowing at, today it's 240 and 11. But he said the temperature's 85 degrees. He said, we got to put 4 sheets on it. 4 sheets to the wind. But he said, you drop the temperature to 60 degrees, saying 240 and 11 or 12. We got to go to 2 sheets. And he said, and I went,
Air density.
yeah, and I said,
You're in lower density altitude.
It's density altitude. And I said, oh, and I tried to explain, and I've tried to kick this up to some of the people that, I'm essentially the chief engineer here also. And I'll try to kick this up to say, it's density altitude. Sailors know this because when they're sailing their boats, when it's cool and they have a brisk wind, or if it's hot and they have a brisk wind, they're a lot faster when it's cooler because they are density altitude. But she flies like a rotary wing. You fixed wing or rotary or?
I haven't flown in quite a while. Commercial CFI,
Okay.
but it was mostly all fixed wing.
Yeah.
I have a bit of rotor time.
And she's just pretty impressive. I mean, she's impacted by i.e. density altitude or even Bernoulli's, as a matter of course. And it's just, I just kind of make a very strong corollary towards that of fixed wings or rotary wings. And then,
Just stay to the right.
are we going to do this? Is that what we're going to do? Want to do that one more time and see what we get? Okay, here we go.
You want to be able to see.
Oh, we're doing That's good. Beautiful. One more time, sweetie. Yes, sir. Yes.
Is there another cover?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Now we're going to have to stop right here. Does she know what Indians are?
I think so.
You know what Indians are? And of course I know they're taught,
Native Americans?
they're taught to say Native Americans. I happen to be one of 5 pure-blooded Native Americans on Nantucket. I am an Onondaga from Syracuse.
Oh, okay.
have a
So
Seminole,
you're not a Wampanoag then.
No. We have a Seminole, Cherokee, Sioux, 1 Wampanoag, and 1 Onondaga. We have 3 half-breeds. We have a Chippewa. We have a Blackfoot. We have an Onondaga, and we got a number of quarters. Okay. I'm just showing this young lady, she's convinced we've got to make cornmeal, right? So now, would you show these folks how corn sounds when it goes down the hatch? Can you, and give me that best voice that you've got there. Yeah. What's going to say, down the hatch?
Down the hatch.
All right, we can do this. This is beautiful. Okay, and show them how they, go demonstrate for them. Say, down the hatch. You want to say that?
Down the hatch.
Ooh, that's beautiful. And we'll send this down, then we're gonna send some other stuff down, and okay. One more.
Down the hatch.
All
right? How about I drop this? I'll put some corn in here, and I'll put some corn over here. All right. Now, and you know what are you going to say when he goes down there? No, say it again.
Down the hatch.
All right, down the hatch. Okay, ready?
Down the hatch.
All right. Beautiful. Tom Miner is my name, and when we fly this guy, and I say fly it because we were just discussing with both pilots, that she does very much like an airplane. And influenced by, are you a pilot or a pilot? Okay. She's influenced by those issues that affect us, i.e. on the runway, the density, altitude, the Bernoullis, etc. But she's just a terrific machine. This guy is essentially a ring and pinion configuration here. And we all live with a ring and pinion, and of course it's our transmission with our drive shaft coming out and going back to the differential, which, so here we have a drive shaft going into the differential, which is the pinion. So it depends on which way that drive shaft is rotating, we're going to get our wheels going forward and backwards. This guy is configured with 61 crown teeth up there. Are we engineers?
No. No.
Okay. Teachers?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow, yeah.
Where's my graduate and postgraduate happened to be in educational psychology. Anyways, this guy is configured with 12 of these pins called together. They're called wallowers, but together up there they're called the bird cage. So they constitute the pinion. It has on the ring, that is the crown up there, it has 61 of these teeth. And those teeth, if we get a gust to come around here, we'll find that those teeth with that ring is coming around, or a crown, will bump up against the pinions up there. And at any one point, we probably have 2, if not 3 of these teeth in contact with this guy. Well, a little mathematical equation here. We got 12 of these, but we have 61 of these. But let's assume we had 60 of these. Now, we intentionally, very propulsively, don't have 60 of them. We go 61. And why is it that we odd number for this and even number for that? It is because that if we have a little imperfection in the tube, you can see the crack in it, and that tooth has made contact with the wallower up there, that guy there, with essentially a 5-to-1 ratio, with 60 of these, we do have 61, will turn around and put its footprint on 5 of these. And 5 of these may end up wearing something like this. And so we're going to wear out about ½ an inch. And so that is to say, let's assume that was the only guy in the nest that's up there with a broken tube. We will wear 5 of the wallowers just like this. Whereas the other 7 wallowers will have no wear. And that becomes a real crucial issue to the extent that if we stop and look at that configuration, that when we're having 2 and 3 wallowers, or 2 wallowers but 3 teeth in contact with it, if this guy comes against a wallower and has to push it an extra ½ an inch to get it out of the way, and we have the next full tooth and the next full wallower coming down, we'll have a collision. We may fracture the head on this guy. So, we go to 61. But from a mathematical perspective, that we find ourselves with essentially a 5-to-1 ratio in the sky. So then, a little bit smidge off from there, but essentially for every rotation of those complete revolution of the sweeps out there, one of those, this stone is going to rotate 5 times. And you got to take this 3,500-pound stone, and it's screaming. This guy is really cooking. And so it ends up, here's what it is. It ends up that it's really hard to actually decelerate. Now, downstairs, I think Harry probably told you need to keep your ears and your nose to the grindstone, but your taste buds too. Because our preoccupation is looking out the window. And today, we're looking out the window to catch those sweeps. And if we turn around, and we got to get the cadence on the sweeps. And if we get those cadence on the sweeps, and when we get that sweep coming down, and it's in and out that portal over there, we count 1,001, 1,002. We're now doing 39 miles per hour tip speed. That's absolutely optimal. 39 is optimal. We do our back now. 2004, we're doing now 39, we're doing about 18.5 miles per hour. And that was we're picking up speed. And we have to be cautious about it. So when we keep our nose and our ears and our taste buds to the grindstone, is because it's such a particulate-laden environment. Would you help me with this for a minute? Can you put this in your hands and just put it in both hands and just kind of squeeze it together? Just kind of squeeze it like this.
Rub, 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 rub.
Rub it, go. Okay. Then we're going to put it over here. Now, just put it back in the bag there for just a minute. But don't dust your hands off. Okay, now hold your hands out like this. Can you count to 3? This environment is a very particulate-laden environment to the extent that we have a lot of corn dust running through here. And so our preoccupation to keep this guy under control and modulating our speed outside, we need to worry about our senses, right? Senses are good. So we got, how many senses we have? We can hear. Oh, 5! Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Now I'll give you a high five in just a moment. But we need to go ahead and evaluate it from the particulate that we either smell for an olfactory response, auditory response, and that is the corn cracking between the stones. And if we want to go further with it, and let's assume we got the sniffles, we can use our taste buds. Taste it. Okay, so we'll count to 3, and let's show these folks the dust.
Show them the dust on your hands.
You want to count to 3, and we clap our hands together? Ready? Go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Here we go. Ooh. And look at this dust coming through here. We turn around and we just know that we're in that situation when we smell that, when we taste it, when we hear it. But rub your hands together real hard. What do you feel? Is it getting warmer? It's getting warm, isn't it? Just, friction? Yeah, okay, it's friction, right? But our stones get too close together, and so then, instead of smelling corn, what do you think it's going to smell like? What do you think? You like the smell of popcorn? You like popcorn, don't you? Oh my gosh. We're burning the corn because our stones are getting too close together, so we need to get those stones far apart. But we need to keep our stones close together to keep and to modulate the speed to control the cadence of this machine. So if the winds become too heavy and we got 4 sheets to the wind, we need to stop and take 2 off. So that way we can get our stones apart and we don't have to smell popcorn anymore, right? Yeah, this is not a good popcorn popper, is it? No, that's kind of silly though, right? The winds don't always travel from the same direction. Were you here when we were rotating the bonnet, the roof up there?
No.
The winds will come from different directions. We have a dominant wind here on Nantucket, which is our major runways, i.e. runway 24 and 6 or 240 and 060. We do have 15 and 33, of course, I think, but I never had the pleasure of landing on those. But it's those are the dominant prevailing winds on this guy here. So we're either over here from 060 or over here where we are today for the 240 wind. And there's so much variables here, and we're not a heat island. Do we know what Heat Island is? And Heat Island, you're from Philadelphia. Where are you from?
Similar area, yeah.
Okay, and you get in the middle of the city, for example, with a lot of asphalt and buildings and concrete. That is called, from an environmental perspective, as a heat island. It blows heat into the stone, the bricks, the buildings, etc. Thusly, the heat island. It's not an island per se. And it takes us, because we're sitting here on an island, it will take us to, at this point in, what time is it yet, honey? What time do we have? 1:12, right? Is that what it is? 1:12. It takes us to 1:30 or 2 o'clock, where we start convecting. We start loading enough heat into our substrate, into our sand, that we start giving up the heat, so that we, at the say 1:30 to 2 o'clock, 2:30, so that what we end up happening is that we now, because we start convecting the heat up in from the ocean, in the proximity of the oceans, we'll start getting the sea breezes in, depending on which way it's coming. So thusly, the convection will be self-perpetuating at that hour of the day. It's pretty hard to fly this bad boy in the morning. Unless we have a real dominant wind. It was real cool. This morning was real cool winds, but we had warm winds. We say here at the mill, when the winds are from the west, it is the best today. When it's from the east, it is the least. And it is because the wind is coming right off the ocean, i.e. Surfside Beach over here, where our wind is coming from Cochu, from Great Harbor down there. And when it hits us, the name of this hill, what's the name of this hill, honey? Do you know the name of this hill? Say Popsquatchet. Can you say Popsquatchet? Popsquatchet, that's right, Popsquatchet. And that this hill, Popsquatchet, which is a Wampanoag lexicon, means windy hill. So when the winds come from the east and we roll at water level and we come up on this hill, and this is essentially the terminal moraine here and around into Monomoy and heading back out that way in glaciation, this is where it is, that the winds start to roll. We have those unfavored runways that we don't like to land on when we get this mechanical turbulence. We have a lot of mechanical turbulence this way. It's a lot smoother this way. So we like it from the west. It is the best. So you know Native Americans, right?
What was it?
A ladder.
A ladder.
Okay. Because we need to turn our bonnet sometimes to get our sweeps into the wind.
Right.
We have a tail pole that's out there. Right out there. Do you see the oxen or the horse out on the end of that pole? You don't see him? No, he must be up at the barn.
They keep in a little red box.
Okay.
Little maroon box up there on the wheels.
It would be 1746 with the oxen and big old horse. They would turn our bonnet to make sure we trace everything in the way. So today it's a big old pig. Hi guys, how we doing? We doing? Yeah, we are doing, aren't we? Obey.
It's wishful thinking on our part.
Oh, that's kind of a little subliminal message.